Hello everyone, this is Gwydion with RPG Frequencies. Today I wanted to cover the Book of Masteries by Black Oath Entertainment, one of my favorite creators, Alex T. Now, Ker Nethalas Into the Midnight Throne has done extremely well, sold many copies, I think thousands of copies, and it's a single player and co-op dungeon crawl survival game that a lot of folks, including myself, have found just super fun to play. And there have been a lot of supplements that have come out already. The Valerian Codex 1 and 2 and 3 is in process. And Alex recently released the Book of Masteries. And I think this has flown a little bit under the radar because Ker Nethalas, the original game, Into the Midnight Throne, has most of the masteries that are in the Book of Masteries are in Ker Nethalas, the original game. However, the Book of Masteries expands on them greatly, adds some new masteries, has some clarifications, has some updates, and I wanted to flip through just to show you a bit of what you'll find if you buy this awesome supplement. So I'm going to start on the left-hand side of the screen with the Book of Masteries, and I've done some highlighting so you can see all of the masteries that are in the new Book of Masteries. So let me flip over to the table of contents here. So you'll notice, starting on page 20 of Ker Nethalas, you see the first mastery, which is the Abyssal Reaver. So we're going to start there. I'm going to flip to both of these. And the first thing you'll notice on the left-hand side, Book of Masteries, is you get awesome quality art for every one of these masteries. Now, it's important to note that Alex T, all of his games use original art. So he's commissioning artists to pay. Nothing that you'll find in him in his games are AI generated. Now, I don't necessarily avoid all games with AI, but I love when creators, authors use artists and commission true art outside of AI. So I'll leave it at that. But you can see how there's a lot of similarities, but certainly the imagery is awesome that you get with it. The next page of all of the masteries are the kind of the training. Where did you train? But if you flip to the tiers, this is where you'll see the differences. So for the Abyssal Reaver, in the original book, you had one option for all of the tiers. So as you gained a tier, gained a level or a tier, you would just automatically get the item, the action that is included with that tier. So at level 1 or tier 1, you got Infernal Flame. Infernal Flame is still available in the Book of Masteries, but you also have the option to select Demonic Claws. So if you think about all of the different options in the original game, the new Book of Masteries doubles all those options. So you can see at tier 2, and I'll flip through all of these. Tier 2, you had Hellish Weapon. You now also have Abyssal Frenzy. Some of even the original items that you could select have been reimagined. So like in this case, you'll see, I think this is the same for Hellish Weapon, but I'll show you a few that I know have changed. So tier 3, Demonic Pact was in the original, and now you also get Infernal Armor. Tier 4, and along with Demon Shroud, you also get Soul Siphon. And Soul Harvest was tier 5, Demonic Transformation, and tier 5 is new. So let's flip over to the Arcanist. Again, love the artwork. And let's see if there's anything different. I don't see a difference in the general description, but when I do see that, I'll point it out. So I didn't highlight this one, I guess, but you got Arcane Missiles in the first, and Arcane Shield. I think that's why I didn't. Arcane Shield was a tier 2 item in the original version of the game, but now you have Arcane Missiles and Arcane Shield. So these are like not different paths, but if you select one, the other one will not be available to you anymore. So now in tier 2, you get Magic Shell and Ward, which are both brand new. Tier 3, Mirror Image is new. Tier 4, Etheric Blast is new. And all of you can see in the last original version of the game, the companions were listed right below the original item that you get as part of your mastery. And these are all now in an appendix. All of the companions are in an appendix under the Book of Masteries. You also get Maelstrom, which is a new item. Brawler. Again, artwork on all of these. And in this case, again, I believe those are the same description. So let's flip into here. So you'll add Charge, Unstoppable Fury, Unarmored Mastery, Brutal Finisher in addition to Kidney Shot, and Indomitable Will. Bulwark is the next one. And it looks like that is the same description. So let's just flip to the tiers. So you get Taunt, Runic Empowerment is new, Spellbreaker is new, Parry is new, and Indomitable Defense is new. Let's go into Caustic Blade. I highlighted this completely because there is no Caustic Blade in the original Ker Nethalas Into the Midnight Throne. So this is a brand new class or option for you to mastery for you to select. So in this one, you hold domain over acid and corrosion, eating away at your enemy's flesh and possessions. I love that. So this guy is almost naked, but he has things that can eat away at your opponent. So again, these will all be new. You get Acidic Touch or Corrosive Trap at tier 1, Acid Spit and Corrosive Weaponry tier 2, Acid Cloud and Corrosive Bolt, Toxic Mastery and Acid Armor, and finally at tier 5, Corrosive Aura and Acid Storm. So again, a brand new class. So Duskblade, really cool image that you'll see. And again, the same description, but you get Master Locksmith, Shadow Step, Shadow Cloak, Shadow Meld, Shadow Jump, and then we get to Emissary. So you can see the new image here. And again, the same description, but as far as new items that you can get in your tiers, you get Divine Blessing, Divine Resolve, Divine Favor are all new. Summon Divine Justicar and Holy Word are all new. Fatebender is a brand new mastery, so you won't see that in the original. So you twist the very fabric of destiny to your will through your dark rituals. You can change the threads of fate to benefit you and harm those that dare oppose your power. In your tiers, you can rewind time, create a minor illusion, Fate's Favor, Twist of Fate for tier 2. Tier 3, you have Time Skip and Alternate Timeline. Tier 4, Twisted Knot and Fate's Decree. Finally, tier 5, Master of Destiny and Time Lord. So in Flamecaster, so this is a little bit different than the original. In addition to the image, you can see that now you are restored by fire damage, whereas originally you were just immune. So it sounds like, I believe restoration is somewhat like a heal. So if you take fire damage, I suspect that you actually get healed by the fire damage. So as far as the tiers, what do you get? New Ignite Weapon, Incinerate, Hellfire. That sounds awesome. Call down a torrent of flames from a corruptive corner of the fire plane, dealing D10 plus 4 infernal damage to a single target. I love that. Phoenix Blood is new and Phoenix Form is new. Then let's get to Frostweaver. So in this case, again, targets damaged by your Frostweaver spells are freezing, whereas previously you were immune to cold damage. So that's new. So you get additional items in your tiers: Chill Touch, Freezing Mist, Frost Cage, Frostbite, Frozen Blood. All of those are new. So there's a lot of new content, even though it looks similar. And these images, I'm going to put probably into Sojour VTT, and I'll use these as my tokens for the monsters that I face. So that'll be awesome. Can't wait for that. You get Drain Life, Blight, Bloodskin, and Death Ward both look like they're new. I think Bloodskin is similar to Blood Shield. It might be the same. No, it's not. Same description, or at least similar description, but it costs 2 health and 4 Aether, where before it cost 1 health and 2 Aether. So again, few modifications as you look at these. You get to control undead, and you also get Lich Form. I'm not sure why. I think I highlighted Necrolord because the description changed slightly from the original version. Then we get to Hexmancer, and that does look a little different, even though I didn't highlight it. So this description and your kind of your general abilities when you select that are a bit different. And you get to add Weaken, Withering Touch, Terrifying Visions, Blight, Doombringer, and then Petrified Armor. Looks like that's a bit different than the original version. Icon Caller, again, I keep saying it, but I love the art here. And it looks like the description looks similar to me. But then you add Mist Icon, Poison Cloud Icon, Fear Icon, Summon Icon, and then Strength in Time. Look like they're replacements perhaps for Armor Icon. Or maybe Strength Icon is similar. but a bit different. Again, he's enhanced everything that he, felt like could use some additional changes to it. So then you have Mindbender. So you add Psychic Bolt, Psychic Weakening, Bolster Defense, and then Astral Projection, Mind Blast. I think are both a little bit different than the original Dominate. And then you do have Dominate, which was originally a tier 4, and looks like maybe that's a little bit different, and it only costs 4 sustained Aether instead of 10 at one time. So let's go back to Ritualist. And again, amazing image. And the Ritualist description is different. So you gain a new camp activity, prepare components, whereas previously, when you start a ritual, you're immune to all damage for a round. Obviously, you could mix and max if you really want, but I think the idea is the revised version, the upgraded version of the Mastery is what I think is expected to be used. So we added Arcane Ward, Identify, Arcane Surge. I say we, Alex did. Elemental Harmonics and Sigil of Power. And finally, Power from the Spheres. Stormbrand, I think we're getting towards the end. I love that. Skeletons coming up as you're fighting them off. And he added Lightning Bolt, Cyclone Strike, and Thunder Stomp. Storm Mastery, and then Avatar of Thunder and Tempestuous Rage are new and different. Tracker, advantage in all scavenge and perception checks, which I think is consistent, but you get Cave Foraging and Silent Movement, Hunter's Mark, Scout Ahead, Camouflage, Survivalist. You're getting the point here that there is just a ton of new content here, and that's what I'm really trying to get across. So in addition to Darksight, you get Mantle of Darkness, Umbra Strike, Shadowbind, Curse of the Dark, and One with Shadows. Weapon Master, and this is a bit different. So choose a weapon, your skills increase by 10. I think he found that increasing by 20 was a bit OP, so he changed that. And he added Feint, Riposte, Flurry of Blows, Power Strike, and Weapon Master's Aura. I think we're almost at the end. I think there's a couple more. Wraith, which uses Acrobatic skill. He added Nimble Feet, Aerial Assault, Misdirection, Exploit Weakness, Fleet-Footed, and Serpent's Grace. And I think this might be the last one, Wraithspawn. Let's look at that. And he added Intimidating Glare, Enrage, Reckless Attack, and Unstoppable Force, Fearsome Presence, and World Breaker. Oh, maybe I lied. There is another one, Zealot. So Zealot, there is a new description here, so you can check that out. And he added Smite Evil, Divine Shield, Purity Through Pain. I love all these options. Divine Retribution, and Unworthy. And that looks like it is it from the original. So I'm going to close that down for now. And we'll just look at, give me 1 second. I'll turn one of these off. Turn this one off. There we go. So, okay. So you also get with the new Book of Masteries, the Forge of Souls, which is a way to transform the properties of an amulet into a ring. So that is new. Mastery Minions. So this is the section that has all of your arcane companions and all of their stats. So they're all in one place, shows their actions, and there might be new items here. I don't know for certain, but that's it. So look, I'll flip back up to the top, and I've bought this like I do all of Alex T's creations as it relates to Ker Nethalas, and I can't wait for the Valerian Codex 3 to come out. But I would encourage you, if you liked what you saw, to check out Book of Masteries, and I'll drop some links to where to get it if you have an interest. Thanks for watching, all.